Hey guys, it's CryptoCamacho. It's Dan here. Hey, there's some news floating around that's hit the media yesterday, today, and being touted as the hugest deal ever. And what it is Bloomberg recently reported that China will be banning cryptocurrency exchanges moving forward. So China's already banned ICOs, initial coin offerings, right? They've banned those like a week or two ago. Now it's coming out that China's going to be banning all cryptocurrency exchanges in China. Well, wow, that is not a big deal. You know why? Because look at the price of Bitcoin. Look at the price of Ethereum today. They're not going far down. I mean, they've dropped a little bit, right? But they're not going to go. They're not going that far down. I think that tells us something. That tells us that there is still a huge amount of support for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. It tells us that there's huge support in, giving China the finger when they say we're going to ban ICOs, we're going to ban exchanges, blah, blah, blah. It tells you that cryptocurrencies are strong regardless of what China does, regardless of what nations do, what governments do. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, blockchain, it's here to stay forever, right? It's here to stay. And the fact that everybody's kind of preaching this doom and gloom of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency because of the news, because countries are banning this stuff, that's expected. That's going to happen. It's going to happen more. It's going to happen in many countries. It may happen in the US, right? We don't really know. The founders of Bitcoin, the people that created Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto and others, they expected this, right? They expected governments would get involved. They expected governments wouldn't be too happy about Bitcoin, about other cryptocurrencies, about subverting or bypassing the US dollar and other fiat currency systems that are already in place. And, that's why Bitcoin was really invented, was to kind of circumvent all of these different institutions so that there was no central authority regulating, monitoring, adjusting monetary policy and fiat currencies, right? There's no manipulation with Bitcoin. So the fact that China came out today and said, hey, we're going to ban cryptocurrencies, not a big deal to me. I mean, it may, cause a short-term dip in the market. It is causing a dip in the market. It may go down further. There may be a larger correction. I think that is very likely to happen, that eventually there will be a large correction, right? Larger than one we've seen in recent months, right? In recent months, there's been a crash to like 3,000, right? But there could be a bigger correction than that. But what is that? That is a buying opportunity. As long as there's a strong enough base on the bottom, a strong enough base of users that fully believe and are confident in cryptocurrencies and in Bitcoin as a concept, it's not going to go anywhere, right? The value of Bitcoin is tied to the confidence of the people that use it, that believe in it, that feel it will succeed, and that have faith in the system as a whole. That's how monetary systems work. That's how the dollar works. That's how fiat currencies work as well. So don't take this as, a terrible sign that China is announcing this, although do be prepared, if there are dips, be prepared to trade on those, be prepared to buy those. I'd recommend you don't keep all of your money, all of your Bitcoin in. I recommend that you don't keep all of your money in Bitcoin or other altcoins. That you keep it in USD or fiat as well, so that if there is a big correction, you can buy, on the downtrend and on the spike there. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. I guess the biggest takeaway is really that this stuff is expected. Expect this stuff to happen. If you're going to get into day trading, if you're going to get into cryptocurrency trading, you got to be, expecting this kind of news. You got to be expecting the dips. You got to be expecting bad news. You got to be expecting good news. That's, where the volatility comes in. That's why there is volatility, because there's all this news. There's all these unknowns. We're in the Wild West, and it's still really unknown or uncertain what's going to happen to Bitcoin and where it's going to go. But that's where the opportunity is, right? Buy on the lows, sell on the highs. When there's bad news, people react. People's emotions run wild. People start selling. They go crazy. The markets tank. And then, just as quickly as they tank, they go back up. They shoot up. And I'm going to show you an example of that right now. So let's jump over to Coinigy over here, right? So this is how I did it, right? Over here, I did a few days ago. So let's not talk about this one right here. But I did make very good profits right here, and I was super excited about that. Let's focus on this right here, because this is an active trade that I have going on now, and I'm not sure how it's going to turn out exactly. But if you notice, I bought when the base cracked. Again, right? This was the last base. I bought when it cracked. Bought right here, and I bought again. And I tried to buy a little bit lower, but I just couldn't actually get in more buys. I put in buy after buy, and I just couldn't get the buy. I couldn't get it executed. So what I did, though, again, there's a strong base right here, lots of support, right? No matter if you go back further and further, you'll see the strong support right here. And so that's where I marked my base, is right where that big strong support is, right here, right? Oh, that's a terrible line. Let me do a different one. Right here, and that's where I bought, right? So I could have waited till the base was right here. And, I probably could have. I probably should, right? And I probably will buy if it goes below here. But for now, I just wanted to make a quick trade, quick profits, and that's exactly what I did because I knew that it was going to crack the base and I knew it was going to go right back up. So if you zoom in on this, I've already, made, gosh, what percentage is this? It's I sold it, I made about 10%, about 10.5%, right? So let me zoom out on this a little bit here. So I made 10.5% already today. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I do still think it's going to go up a bit higher. So I haven't sold everything. I did make 2 sales. So I've sold most of my position, and I made 10%, which is exactly what I was aiming for. I was actually aiming for 6% on this one because it was a pretty large trade. But I had 10%, so I'm really, really happy about that. And all I did is I followed the base trading rules that I've shown you in previous videos here, and it's worked, right? And if you look at the big picture here and why I'm waiting and why I'm not selling all of my position right here, it's because look back. Let me zoom back out here. For the last at least a month, let's say, prices have been going back up very high to 20, at least 25, 26. That's kind of the top, right? 25, 26 right here. In recent, weeks, it's been a little bit lower, top of 24, but still good, right? I'm all the way down here, bought at 18, bought at 18 and 19 right down here. So if it goes anywhere, up to 20 and beyond, I'm super happy. If it goes up to 23, 24, 25, anywhere in here, I'm super, super happy. So I'm waiting it out a little bit, and you even zoom back farther, and we're really at a low point here. Ever since there was big support way back here in, gosh, this is like June timeframe, there was a big spike up and the price kind of jumped and then it stabilized back down here around the 20s. There's been this constant tread of up and down, up and down, up and down. And so I don't expect it to go away quite yet. It will eventually go away, but in the meantime, I'm going to profit on it. Every time it drops, I'm going to buy. Every time it goes up, I'm going to sell. And I'm going to repeat the process over and over and over. And I'm using my tracker that I showed you in a previous video to do this. And every day I'm making an incremental profit, right, of anywhere between 5 and 15%. Sometimes 20%, sometimes more, but I'm aiming for 5 to 15%, right? Because if I put in a large enough trade at whatever value it is, and I get 5, 10, 15% per day, that compounds on top of each other, right? You put in $1,000 for a trade, and you make 10%, then you have $1,000 100. The next day you put in $1,000 100 on a trade. You make a trade, you make another sale. You see where that goes. So it goes up and up and up and up, and it compounds and it snowballs, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. Again, wanted to show you some of this, and the ICO, the ban on the exchanges that China is leading the way on, don't worry too much about it. I'd be, cautious. I wouldn't keep my money all in Bitcoin right now. I would put a little bit in Bitcoin, a little bit in Ethereum, a little bit in, USD fiat or whatever fiat currency you're using, just to, spread your risk a little bit. And then I would do day trading on top of all of that, right? So anyway, hopefully you found this helpful. I'm Dan from CryptoCamacho.com. Leave me comments. Let me know if this is helpful, if there's anything specific you'd like to learn about. Also, check out my other social media profiles on Facebook, on Twitter, on Steemit. You can check those out. I post a lot of other content there about day trading, about how to, buy your first Bitcoin, so forth and so on. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you next time.